But good afternoon, Deidre. I just have to say again, thank you, thank you, thank you for just always being there. You know, it's kind of challenging when you're doing multiple different things for our amazing company because family, this lady here and myself, we just don't hold one hat for special disabilities. We work on a little bit of everything. We're part of the corporate team, elite team when it comes to all the events, community events in the company. We spearheaded with a couple of other founder council members, the founder, David McCovey, and our vice president, Tony Moss Evans, and as we would say, our first lady, Katera Ware. So we're part of that organization, but we're also part of the event committee in itself. And then anything else that might goes on in the company. So today, I just been searching through Google. Remember I told you Google is our best friend, right? And I need to share my screen, you guys, but let me see where I'm at here. Sorry. Okay, you guys know Kimball, right? Kimball is sending out money to my employees in error. Don't know how that's happening, but anyway, what I wanted to do is I really wanted to start today and just kind of showing you guys, because we get this every week. What is the name of the special needs disability travel Facebook page? This is it. Save it, put it in your notes, add it as a contact. Tony Queenwald Ward used to teach us, you put everything as your contact, so you know exactly where to find it. This here is our special needs website. We are a little bit behind in uploading some videos, but we're going to most definitely get it because I'm trying to transition over to YouTube. But, life gets in the way, evil gets in the way, and it constantly slows us up on what we're doing. I need you guys to know this is where the website is. You have the community chat. If you guys want to chat through the community and you don't want to have it on the Facebook group where everybody's seeing, you most definitely can do that. If you're not in this group, you must definitely have to answer, sorry. You must definitely have to answer all of the questions. There are 2 or 3 questions. You must definitely have to know who your founder council member is, right? As we started building files, as we started doing job forms, as we started doing Q&A questions on what you need to ask for those suppliers, you're going to find them here in files. Right now, they're not, but we are working on it. This here is the media. This is where you can go in and you can locate anything. Photos. This is where Shanetta was downloading all of the training classes or trainings that we were doing. What we're trying to do based on the ones that we have recorded, we're looking to put the flyer and that particular training. So when we build that playlist on my YouTube channel, you have access to it 24/7. You still got access to it here. You can go in for any of our new agents that have not, been back here in media. Sorry. You can go in here. You can look for everything, anything that's been posted. You can always also search it by search if you're looking for some things. This is here. We're trying to get our videos. What happens is once I'm able to convert over our Zoom to YouTube, then we will have tons of our YouTube videos here also for you. Our plan is to start building an album. So if there's something that you love or you see that you would like to upload or you like to share with the family, feel free, because we normally have to approve it for you to be able to do so. We're going to start adding some of the things that we do for Evo Cares and Evo Kids. We're going to drop some of that stuff here so you guys can also be able to have access to it. But what I'm excited about is that is that we have so much here for us to utilize. We just need you guys to get in tune. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to have a discussion. Okay. Don't be afraid to add members, but this is a thing. If you add a member, that information will not be transposed for them to ask the questions. So don't add members. Give them the link, send it to them, have them add the information, fill it out, and we are really good in getting back with each and every one of you. So today, I just kind of wanted to talk a little bit about, and I didn't even decide to go in and take all of it and do a PowerPoint, all that great stuff, because this is something that I want you guys to have as tangible, where you can be able to print it out. And then, we talked about last week about disabilities from toddlers to 18 within the school system. And it's really good to understand it, because that's where it starts from. That's where a lot of the work is put into to all of our disability clients, whether they're infants, school age, high school. We still have those that's 21 and still going to school till they're 25. And they have regional center services that help all of those adults. But I wanted to talk about a little bit about other disabilities, because we always get information. People always asking questions. And I just kind of wanted to talk a little bit about, what the ADA defines a disability. It's very broad. And it does not limit to a type of disability, which is a service animal that can be used. But in addition, it's flexibility. And, everyone says to me, that, girl, why do you always take a wheelchair when you travel? Well, because I can't walk distance. I can't walk long distance because of my COPD. And with my COPD, it causes, for me not to get oxygen. It causes me not to get oxygen to my lungs. Sometimes it could cause me not to get oxygen to my brain if I'm trying to grasp to breathe. And believe it or not, when you have COPD, emphysema, with asthma, is chronic. That is considered a breathing problem with a disease. My COPD is a chronic disease, but it's a lung disease. So they look at it as a disease. My asthma is, it's always been there. So I just kind of wanted to show you guys, and we're gonna most definitely get definitions for a lot of this, because we trained on this. Last year on the Sunrise Call, we had a list of everything. So I'm trying to compile everything I have. I know that Paula Johnson from not Baltimore, she's going to kill me. Oh, wow. Paula, don't kill me. But Paula have also offered to kind of help and support, because she works with adults. We have been talking about children. She works with those young adults and adults. So we're looking to have her join our team in a bit. But I just want to talk about some of this. Is just a partial list. This here is just some different performance limited life activities that other people can't perform easily, and you might qualify. And I know when I look at this list, although it's not encouraging, but it does qualify and disable. It does sometimes qualify for you to get SSI or SSI Social Security or SSI disability. And it is two different platforms when you're looking at SSI Social Security. Oh, I'm turned 65 now. I can pull my Social Security. Why? They ain't really give me nothing, so I'm gonna wait till I turn 70, right? So you got options. But then when you look at SSI disability, they still take care of you financially because you are disabled, or their doctors have said that you're disabled. Because for those that have probably applied for SSI, an SSI disability, if their doctors don't deem you as disabled, you're going to be fighting forever. And then you're going to get someone, an attorney or one of those programs that help individuals fight to get their benefits, right? So when we think about some of the partial disabilities, asthma, and I could talk about that, other breathing problems. I am an asthmatic. I am a severe asthmatic. I am on medication every day. Yes. If I tell you that I take 9 different pills every day, 2 inhalers every day, just to stay afloat, and then have a vocal cord disorder, it's crazy. But I say it's all God, right? Because you know what? I couldn't do half of what I do without him. Then we talked about blindness last week, but we do have blindness, and you have partial blindness. It is a disability. We talked about deafness, and it can be a partner deafness, diabetes. I have a few of my business partners that have diabetes, and I've learned so much from them, understanding, what they go through and how they have to make sure that their levels are right. We have to make sure when they're traveling to convention, or they're traveling, or they're hosting events with me, they be so busy worrying about making sure that I eat. I need to be making sure that they are getting everything that they need to ensure that their levels and everything is right for them to participate in everything that we're doing in evolution. Let's just kind of talk about dizziness and balancing problems. So this past weekend before last, you guys know that we hosted the big event at Taste of Soul. And I'm normally is a bouncing jelly bean. I am engaged. I am talking to everyone. I am stopping people to come to our booth. I am sharing all the success stories and what we do and how we give back. With this past event, I have to say I wasn't at my fullest. I wasn't even at 50%. I don't know what was going on. I was dizzy. I was lightheaded. My balance was off. First, I thought it was my vertical, but everyone just made me sit down. They made me drink plenty of fluids. They made sure I was eating, but I still couldn't shake it. So I sat during the whole event. I was perfectly fine all morning, getting everything set up. And all of a sudden, I just felt different. So Linda Cash said, well, let's just I'm going to walk with you. Let's just walk. We walked down to the other end of the event, and we seen UCLA health screen. And she says, oh, girl, they're working on people over there. Let's go over there. Well, I did. They took my blood pressure. They said my blood pressure was low. I've never, ever, now I do have high blood pressure, but I never knew that my pressure was low. And then they said, well, are you diabetes? And I said, no, we need to check your blood levels. So they did all that. So what I'm saying to you, ladies and gentlemen on this call, you need to make sure when it comes to disabilities and your health that you are most definitely on point. Because when you look at this is a form of a disability. Epilepsy, seizure disorder. It is a disability. And when you're at that young age, and I want to talk a lot about in the regional center services, because I'm really going to be reaching out to Andrea, that's out here in Southern California and San Bernardino. She works with regional, and she can kind of share some stories or share what you look for when you are dealing with a regional center client, because you never know that one of your clients might be one of those centers that they have decided that they want to take their group of adults on a trip, whether it's a local trip, whether it's a land or a cruise. You want to be able to understand the dynamics on how everything works. Well, I know if you have a seizure disorder and you are a young child, because I've been a foster parent for 40 years, regional center clients, they will not turn them away if they have a seizure disorder. If they're an infant or they're a school-age child, they will not turn them away. And if they have went through their program, they have aged out as an adult and they are still having epilepsy or seizure disorders, they do not turn away those clients. They still work with those clients. So let's just talk about general hearing and difficulties. It's kind of weird. My ears have been ringing. I don't know what's been going on. So of course I Googled it over the weekend. I said, no, I don't have that. There's nothing wrong with me. It's just that, you know what, if you're not getting enough rest, we're not taking care of bodies, our bodies start doing things to make us realize, okay, you need to get it together. But there are so many different mobility problems, neurological problems, and paralyzed. I'm going to challenge each and every one of you, because I always love to do homework. And I always say, I can't ask you to do something I'm not going to do, right? I'm going to ask you guys to go through some of these physical problems and some of the emotional problems and just write them out. Start making your playbook. Since we got a playbook for regular travel, right? Start making your playbook for special disabilities. So you know. So if you ever come across one of your clients that falls into this, you can have a conversation. It's a little bit different when you don't have that client profile sheet to ask those questions. So I'm going to get a team for us to help us do it. And we can have one for land. We can have one for international. And then I have this company that I was working with Tanya with early when we first started. But I lost all my emails. So now I'm going through and ciphering through all my messengers to try to see if I have this contact so I can be able to reach out to this amazing woman so she can be able to get on and share what she do, because she's also one ability expo client, and she does everything local, everything domestic. And she was looking to work with me to be able to build something that you as business partners could book and get commission on. So we're still looking at some of that stuff, and we're going to see how we can make it work. But I just like for you guys to really understand the physical weakness, speech problems. Epilepsy it's seizures too, but there's more intense. And then we talked a little bit about the emotional and the mental problem, but we didn't really talk about age-related continence decline. So when I think about my dad being really, 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 really sick, and it was just kind of ironic today because my baby sister sent me a text message and said, I think he's at his first stage of dementia. And I'm like, he's too smart as a whip. I think it's more that he have lost his independence and he's struggling. But you have those age-related continence decline. Any psychiatric conditions, you can see below. We talk about this all the time. Autism is just not with children. My cheer program, my oldest autism cheerleader is now 40 years old, and she's severe. And she won't move and she won't do nothing unless she want to do it. And when she do move, she do it on her time. I don't bother her. She can be offbeat. She can do whatever. But when she gets into the groove, she does what needs to be done. Depression. Depression can go from little ones all the way up to adults. We know that. So when you have a client and they kind of talk about some of the qualities of their child or qualities of their children, because there's some families that have multiple disabled children in their homes. Then we have dyslexic. Some of us are dyslexic. We might not want to say it, but it is a form of the disease. And it is things that they work with children, age children on up to high school, to get them into those right programs, right? Bipolar disorder. Let me tell you this. I know this one very well because I deal with all of my children, foster children. and adopted children that are bipolar disorder. I have one that's in my home today. And I'm going to tell you, it's never a boring moment in my household. There's never a day that something do not go on in my household. After a while, you just get kind of tired, right? And then you try to look at other ways that you can help circumvent without saying, hey, come and get them. You have to truly understand bipolar, and it starts at an early age to adulthood. So I'm emotionally overwhelmed. I call it emotionally disturbed. It can be emotionally overwhelmed. It can be a little bit of everything. This is where they categorize those other disabilities because they have not decided exactly what it is, right? Panic attacks. I know adults, I have business partners in this company with me right now is emotionally overwhelmed and have panic attacks. My team is leaving. I don't understand. The prospect is not calling me back. What am I doing wrong? I don't know how I'm going to make my numbers. I don't know what I'm going to book. I don't know what I'm going to build. It's there. And it becomes an emotional stress that puts them into a panic attack. I know someone personally have panic attacks. And then we have post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. It's here. It's in this company. I know individuals, but everybody worked with it differently. Everybody handled it differently. You need to understand. So when they talk about it, then by you researching it, then they'll probably tell you what questions to ask, right? Then separation identity. Whoa! People have it. I know adults. I know individuals that has this. I know I've had over 100 foster kids in my home. And you take them out of their environment, whether it was good for them or not. And then they never make their way back home. Or they make their way into a group home. Or they might be in 6 or 7 foster homes before they even decided to really get settled. See, I know because those are the type of kids that come into my home that they didn't do successfully in other foster homes, and they went to a group home, and now they think that they're ready to be in that environment, in another home setting environment. It can be crazy sometimes, but they're always looking for great people like ourselves. And then we have social. We just got to really, truly understand the definitions of this. And you can always go in and Google list of disabilities and definitions. Let me tell you what I've been doing. As I asked you to do this, I go in and I research it and I copy and paste it and just kind of put it in my notes, or I upload it in Dropbox. I have Dropbox and I added enough. So whenever I drop something in there in reference to special disabilities, that is there. I looked at Google Docs and trying to do some stuff there, but you know what? Sometimes you have to spend the money to make the money, right? But you also got to spend money to make sure that you have the right components to save your stuff that you need, especially when you want to go back and look at it at a different time. So as I said, the ADA definitions of quality disabilities is under the ADA. An individual with disabilities is a person who has physical or mental impairment, limitations to one or more major life activity. My major life activity is asthma, COPD with emphysema, and my vocal cord disorder. So when you guys hear everyone tell me that I need not to talk or speak, Tony Ward used to always tell me, you are not to train, you have to be quiet. Because I only talk, my vocal cord, only one that works is on the left side. My right side vocal cord is paralyzed. I call it lazy. I don't like to say that it's paralyzed. I call it lazy, and it's not opening. And it would never open. I was told that November of last year. So, I always believe that when it's God's timing, he tell me that I need not to speak, I need not to train, that he will tell me. And that is the reason why I do what I do. I get grief all the time, family, from my team, from my APs, from my sponsor. You need to stop training, you need to slow it down. But this is what gratifies me. This is what I love doing. And as long as I'm continue able to speak, as long as I'm continue to able to breathe, I'm going to continue to do what I do, right? And I'm going to continue booking travel and doing events and having a great time and living the best life at 65. I'm going to continue doing that. Well, I'll be 66 next month, in a couple of months. But anyway, so they outline the difference of the physical impairment. And the definition are defined any psychological disorders or conditions, cosmetic, defragment. I mean, it's a little bit of everything. Just understand it. Because when you're going to be working, if you're truly looking to do this, I keep saying that this here is a industry that have not been tapped. And I posted just this morning, I will be focusing on my special needs disability. That is my goal for 2024. And focus on Divas Empower, tying that back to special disabilities so we can allow us to continue doing a lot of stuff that we do to get back to the community. So you just want to understand the difference. Because see, when you're talking to your prospects, they're going to fill you out. I'm not going to say they're going to try to interview you, but they're going to see if you know a little enough to be dangerous, right? So you want to understand the physical impairment. You want to understand the mental impairment. And you also go back to the ADA. And then in inclusion, you just want to be able to qualify them. Whether it's if their behavior, we don't care about the political or their religion, or I don't even care about their sexuality. I just want to be able to book travel for everyone. And especially to our special disabilities market, they have not had that opportunity to do so. And I know that you guys probably Googled some of the other big, travel companies that's been in the business forever. But think about it. They've been in the business forever and they probably haven't changed anything. So here you get the opportunity to be that change. You can be that change. You can be that change in building your brand and promoting. When I think about, oh my God, she's going to get me. Was it Ashley? I think out of Memphis, shared that she took her daughter on Artisan of the Seas by herself for the first time. But she went to a group in her surrounding area to let them know that she's a special disability travel agent. And now she has magnets on her vehicle. She's driving around with it. She is exposing her community. She's letting people know she's not afraid anymore, that she don't have to depend on her mother to always help her with her daughter. That's a testimony, and that's a story to be told. And there's probably a lot of other parents out there that probably want to do the same thing. I have a group of special needs travel agents. I have 6 of them. 2 of them are parents. The other 4 are my cheerleaders from our program. And my daughter, Dana, is one of them. And they have learned, they take the easy way. They work on family, Disney, Universal, SeaWorld, Legoland. They are looking for everything that is fun that they can be able to present to their audience. So again, it's your audience. How are you going to fit? And what are you going to do to bring it? I see all this, do you want to be a travel agent? I see everybody posting all the mock bookings, but I never really see a lot on disabilities. So what I did, I changed my special needs cheer website, and I've changed it to, let me see if we can locate it here, you guys. Let me see if I can see something here. I changed it to Special Needs Travel by DTZ. So anything I always put everything on what I do because they have to know who I am, right? This used to be my cheer and dance Facebook page, right? I still say cheer dance sign. I would never ever remove them, but I am actually posting more stuff. Now I do have this here. I haven't posted in a bit, but I do post this if they want to be a special disability travel agent, because we are all certified, right? So because I have decided that I'm not really looking, oops, you guys heard me, team field, I'm looking to retain, educate, and train. I have not really been doing this, but I do have a couple of business partners that's on my team that have decided that they want to take this piece on and they want to start building a team. You can build a team with special disability travel agents. They can be parents. They love to travel. They'll love to get involved. They'll love to get back. You can do it. It's there. It's there. But you have to make that decision. You have to make that decision. And what is 2024 going to look like for you? We got one more day in October. November 1st would be here. Wow. On Wednesday. 60 days before the year is out. What is your plan? What are you looking to do? I already know what my plan is. I'm going to get me 3 more special needs disability travel agents. And they're going to build their brand. They're going to educate, they're going to retain, and they're going to train, and they're going to train each other. So when you're able to get that group of individuals, they'll be able to feed off each other, just like they did being part of my cheer organization. And we still have our special needs cheer program. We just have taken a break because the majority of them are now enjoying travel, and then they're traveling. So you can build your page, guys. You don't have to just be stagnant. This group page here is for all of us to share success stories, what's working, what's not working. What can you do, what you cannot do. And it's only for Evolution travel agents. I could easily open this out to outside business partners or open it up to parents. But I'm not going to do that. I want to continue pouring into each and every one of you. So I'm hoping that when we meet on Mondays, that you guys just take away one thing. And if you like to do a testimony, or if there's a training that you think you will like and you open, you most definitely need to inbox myself or Deidre Driscoll, and we are here to help and support. I just have to say, my focus shifted a little bit the last couple of months. I decided that I wanted to get my now accreditation as a accredited counselor, then get my master's at cruises, because I'm going to step out on my faith next year, and I want to host a cruise for cause. I have a nonprofit organization that I met a couple of weeks ago that I'm going out as Divas Empower. We're going to support them. They're out here in Palm Springs, California. And he says, oh, we can ready to do a cruise for cause. And I was like, with who? That's exactly how I sounded, ladies. With who? He said, it's a travel agent from Expedia Cruises. I'm like, oh, nothing personal. they're not a true travel agency. So we most definitely be having some other conversations. But I'm going to that is my goal. So this might be something that we can collaborate on. We just have to decide what we're doing and things like that. But yeah, you can even do a small group of 10, or a small group of 8, and you can call it Cruising for Cause. The exciting piece is I want to be able to give back $4 per day to whatever organization I decide to tie it back to. So write out your goals, get your 30-minute elevator pitch for special disabilities. Figure out how you like to move next year. Remember, your platinum, your gold, or your sponsor cannot tell you how to run your business when it comes to special disability travel. So with that, I am going to close it out. I most definitely want you guys, if you haven't registered, get in here and just go through the Facebook page. See what's there. If you're looking for something, you could always go into search and you'll be able to locate it. So Deidre, I am going to give it back to you and see if there's any questions, any comments in the chat.
All right. So first of all, thank you so much for that informative training. Family, do me a favor, locate the chat box. Let's show Patrice our appreciation. She is opened up for questions. So if you have a question that you'd like to ask, you can either type it in the chat box, or you can raise your hand and I can unmute you and you can ask your question. Do we have any questions today? We've got lots of thank yous.
See a lot of thank yous.
Ashley, go ahead with your question.
Hello. I had a quick question as far as request forms. Like I know for like when we first sign up, we all create the quote request form. Do you use, or Patrice use, a separate one for um the special needs side?
Well, let me say this. I have all of my own stuff that I do use. But Deidre and I, and probably a couple other trainers, we're going to put something in place for you guys. Because I use job form for everything that I do, and I do have a cruise job form that I've made and still continue to add to it because I take things from Carnival and I used it Royals format because it was a little bit more user friendly. What I would do, I would put questions to ask and I will drop it inside the messenger for you guys by tomorrow, Ashley. We are working on that, but for Deidre and I, like I said, when we first started, we got so much going on. We finished up convention, then we started regionals, then we were supposed to do a retreat. We're not doing a retreat. Now we're working on the birthday party. And then we have SoCal Boot Camp. So we got so much stuff running in with us, with the company. But we most definitely will have a conversation because we sit on both pieces of the event committee. The elite committee that makes all the decisions, then we roll everything out to the committee itself. So I just have to say, we are like been pulling threads right now. So we're trying to get ready for each and every one of you guys to come out for the birthday party. But I will put a list of questions together.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
I would
that'll
talk
work.
there to kind of help you guys. Would that
And I'll
help?
find you at the birthday party.
Almost definitely gonna be there. Matter of fact, I'll probably be registering you when you come in. I know I will be.
I'll
Probably.
be there. But yeah, I was just thinking because I've been promoting into a lot of groups because I live out in the Phoenix area, and I'm joining a lot of, I'm an autism mom myself, but I'm joining more groups and I'm getting a lot of good feedback because I created like this really cool graphic where it has my certificate for the certified autism travel professional, and then I have like my logo, and then a picture from like my cruise with autism on the seas and stuff like that. So getting that word out, and I actually just linked up with the executive director of autism um, association in Phoenix. So I have a chat with her coming up.
So that's the cool thing. So you're in Phoenix, actually. Why did I
yeah.
think you were in Misfits? I don't know. But you're doing
Oh, I
the
was like, is this me? Because it
I,
sounds
I
like me,
don't
but I
know
was
why
like, I
I
don't
thought
live
you
in
was in
Memphis.
Memphis. But what I'm saying is, I always said you want to work in your backyard, right?
Yeah.
Because when you work in your backyard, that's going to give you bigger exposure. Others going to talk. People are going to share. And you're going to be this amazing special disability travel agent. It's just like me coming on as an advocate for the school district.
Yeah.
It's just because I stayed engaged and supported all the foster kids. Didn't matter if they were mine or not. Anybody that need an advocate, go to SCC or go to IEP, call me, I'll go. But it's you working
Yeah.
in your
And
backyard.
that's one thing I wanted to do too, is like I took that advice you gave on a call before. So I was like, all right, like I live in Surprise, which is right outside of Phoenix, which is growing very fast. Um, but even the lady with this organization, because she manages their social media page, and she even said like anything that I want to post, just email it to her and she'll put it on their Facebook page. Um, so that's like a really good connection to have. And then I'm gonna get connected with her because they do a ton of events. Um, and to get more linked in with those so I can start setting up at those events as well too.
Well, the cool piece is she's willing to post your information. So I
Yeah.
say this all the time. I tell my team all the time. If Patrice Evans posts something, people are gonna look at it. I'm just gonna keep it real.
Yeah.
If I post anything in the company, people are gonna look at what the hell is Patrice posted, because I'm probably the one that posted the company, right? But when it comes from her as the individual from her site and she's posting your information, they're gonna look.
Yeah.
Because
Yep.
now she is representing you, she is sponsoring you, and it's okay. So now when they started seeing other things come from Facebook, or when she allowed you to start posting on Facebook, you're going to get that traction. You're
Yeah.
going to get that traction. Stay plugged in, Ashley. I'm going to tell you, you do not realize what is in store for you. So be prepared, because it's coming and you're going to do amazingly well.
Thank you.
You're so welcome.
Wonderful. Do we have any other questions before we wrap up? Feel free to type it in the chat box, or you can raise your hand.
Well, Deidre, if they don't have any other questions.
But before we close, one thing I will share, because I think sometimes you just need encouragement on all levels, is I know for some of you that are newer to the group, or perhaps have not booked anything for anyone yet, and you're kind of wondering or apprehensive, every conversation that you have helps you get one step closer. And the confidence you're able to show forth when you're talking to someone really makes the difference. Last week, I was at my chiropractor's appointment, and he has become my travel cheerleader, because almost every time he comes to the lobby, he announces to all the people in the room that I'm his travel agent, and if they need anything, they should talk to me. And so there was a lady in the lobby last week, and she'd come in and she was on a cane. And of course, we're at the chiropractor, so pretty much we all have at least one thing in common. And I gave her my card, and she was like, oh, yeah, okay. I would be interested in talking to you. So I went back, came out, and she was already gone. So this week, I was sitting in the lobby with my little earbud in, not really paying attention. And she came in again and she tapped me and she said, "You're the travel lady, aren't you?" And she started talking to me about traveling and how she liked to travel, but because of some things that had happened and now she's not as mobile and she didn't, really feel like she could travel. And she had a trip planned for Vegas, but she was concerned about going and all these different things. And so I started talking to her about being able to rent a scooter in Vegas. Just a little side conversation because she had said it was a trip she had already had planned before she had gotten, had surgery and had some other issues happen, and how she was concerned. I said, well, she said, well, I've seen people with scooters. I just never knew how that could happen for me because I don't have a scooter. I usually get around on the cane, but it's just so much walking. So I just listened and let her talk. And I started talking to her about, how we can have it brought right to her hotel and they'll pick it back up and she doesn't have to worry about those things. And her whole countenance changed. She was so excited. And then she started talking about other places she wanted to travel and things she wanted to do and things. And it just made the conversation easy, but it started by listening. So when you're talking to somebody and you realize, hey, here's an opportunity, don't shy away from sharing the things that you know about. Don't diminish the knowledge that you've gained, even just if you've been on these trainings about what's possible. You always have time to research the actual details and the logistics of it. But for some people, they just need to know that it's possible. So when you start putting it out there, if you're excited about them having a great experience, it will really translate over to them and create an opportunity for you to gain a client. But don't be shy and bashful about it because for some people, just knowing that it's possible will open the door for you. So I just wanted to throw that out there.
Thank you always, Deidre. Do we have any other questions or comments?
I don't see any others.